This is the Proscenic T21 air fryer, and you can literally ask it to cook chips via voice assistant integration. Alexa, ask Proscenic air fryer to cook chips.
Air fryer is now cooking chips.
I should probably turn that off. Hang on. Just one. Up. Do it. Okay. Hey, a remote control web connected cooking appliance. What could possibly go wrong? And to my American viewers, please exchange the word chips for fries throughout this review. However, this is the UK model and it does in fact speak English. So join me, James Bruce, with MakeUseOf.com reviews as I eat all the fried things in the name of giving a thorough review. It's a tough job, but someone has to do it. All right, before we start, in case you're not au fait with the latest in haute cuisine technology, what is an air fryer, or sometimes called a healthy fryer? Well, it's not really a fryer at all. In fact, it's more like a really good convection oven that cooks faster and hotter than a regular oven, and it gives things more of a fried taste without actually dipping the stuff in a vat of boiling grease. It's a nice compromise between healthy oven cooking and tasty fried cooking. Let's face it, oven-cooked chips are an absolute abomination, but throw those same oven chips into an air fryer and they're really quite tasty. Crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside without being nearly as unhealthy as deep frying them. The Proscenic T21 is not just an air fryer with smart tech inside of it. It's also got pretty good unique credentials as an air fryer. So let's take a closer look at the hardware first. The Proscenic T21 is larger than average size, weighing around 15 pounds or 7 kilograms and measuring roughly 12.5 inches or 32 centimeters on each side. It uses up to 1700 watts of electric and comes with a 5.5 litre or 5.8 quart basket, which is significantly bigger capacity than most air fryers that you'll find on the market. This makes it much more suitable for larger families and opens up possibilities like cooking an entire small chicken in there. Bit bigger than that. No, not that big. The temperature can be set anywhere from 77 to 204 degrees Celsius or 170 to 400 Fahrenheit, with up to a 60-minute cooking timer. And you'll find preheat, keep warm, and scheduling functions. Using the T21 is easy. Just yank on the handle to remove the drawer and then pop the food in there. You can also remove the basket if you uncover this locking button first, but be very careful when you do this. Don't press the button when it's just in the air like that. You have to put it down first. I must say that this button cover that automatically goes back when you push the drawer back in is greatly appreciated. I did in fact break the handle of our previous air fryer within a week of owning it because I pulled out the drawer, pressed the button, and the whole thing went crashing to the floor. So adding this physical lock is definitely a small but nonetheless appreciated feature. Another really great feature on the hardware side of things is that both the basket and the entire drawer, in fact, is dishwasher friendly and dual Teflon coated. Many of the competitors aren't, and if you make the same mistake we did, you'll find that the non-stick coating quickly chips away. Now, we've put this through the dishwasher maybe 4 or 5 times now in the course of testing and haven't seen any signs of any sort of decay yet. Obviously it's early days, but I would expect to see a little bit of some sort of degradation by now if it was going to be a problem. Manual operation of the Proscenic T21 is pretty simple. Just press the button here with the drawer inside to wake it up, and that activates the capacitive control buttons around the screen. From there, you can either use one of the 8 quick programs across the top, which consists of chips, shrimp, pizza, chicken, fish, steak, cake, and bacon. Yes, it's a slightly odd selection, or set the time and temperature manually from either side of the main display. Now, one of the safety features we noticed that is different to our old air fryer is that the cooking automatically pauses and shuts off the machine when you remove the basket to check or shake it, move it around, and then when you reinsert it, it automatically resumes. This was a bit disconcerting the first time we tried it, kind of felt like we'd broken it, but no, it does resume where it's left off once you put the basket back in. Some models have a mechanical timer, and those don't have this feature, they just keep ticking down. Now, we tried a variety of foods: fish, chips, chicken nuggets, spring rolls, pork katsu, rewarming leftover pizza, though it can also do small frozen pizzas, and it's honestly handled them all beautifully, cooking everything evenly and leaving crispy results. So in terms of performance as an air fryer, very much impressed. Now, if you're stuck for ideas on what to cook in it, there's a particular feature in the app that you might really like. So let's take a closer look at the smart side of things now. First up, I should note this needs 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, not 5 gigahertz. That shouldn't be an issue with most modern routers, but if you've had problems before with other Internet of Things devices that suffer from that same 5 gigahertz network problem, you'll have the same issue here. That wasn't a problem for me, however. Setting it up was pretty smooth and painless. In fact, you just download the app, hold down the Wi-Fi button, and then you connect to the private Wi-Fi network that it broadcasts. Then from the app you enter your own details, and within minutes out of the box your Proscenic air fryer will be connected to the entire world. So from there you basically have a little remote control on your smartphone, which allows you to, of course, set the cooking time and temperature, or to turn on the keep warm mode, or to schedule your cooking too. Another interesting feature of the app is the recipes tab, where you find something interesting, you can prep it, then just press the cook button and it will automatically use the suggested time and temperature for you from the recipe. That's all great and it works fine. My issues with the smart features arose when we tried to make the voice assistant features work, and I tried both Alexa and Google. At first neither worked. I had to contact support and they seemingly did something on the back end that got it working and said, oh, try now. It was suddenly fine. But then even when it is added successfully to Alexa or Google, it's just not all that useful. So you can give your air fryer a friendly name and then export that to the voice assistants. We started with Crispy, which didn't work so well. Hey Google, tell Crispy to cook fries. No.
Here are some recipes I found.
No! Then we changed it to Christopher, which is more easily recognized, but because Google and Alexa don't know what an air fryer is, it's not a supported instruction set. The only thing you can actually do with them out of the box is to turn it on or off, which isn't so useful. Hey Google, turn off Christopher.
Got it. I'll stop Crispy.
Eventually I found the Proscenic Alexa Skill app, and that opens up more possibilities like the aforementioned ability to tell it to cook specific recipes. But more often than not, the voice commands were not obvious or were so limited I just couldn't see a benefit over using the app. For instance, when I asked it to cook fries, because it's the English version, it didn't actually know what fries were. It has to be chips or any one of the 7 other specific food types that you have to get exactly right. So you have to memorize what those are first. And even then, your voice command has to be through Alexa Skills. So you can ask Proscenic Air Fryer to cook whatever, rather than using the name that you set for it. So it's quite a mouthful. This isn't Prosenic's fault so much as it is just the way that Amazon Skills and smart home devices in general work. Until Google or Amazon offer deep integration out of the box for a generic cooking device that has, say, temperature, time, food names, that's just not going to work properly, and you'll be limited to interacting with this through the use of the third-party skill. So now we get to the big question. Should you buy the Proscenic T21 Healthy Air Fryer? At $129, I can't fault the Proscenic T21 though, as an air fryer. I do particularly like the secure lock on the basket. The large capacity is fantastic, and the results speak for themselves. It's super tasty. You get a range of heat settings, menu option, timers, etc., and the heat distribution is good. In terms of the crispy fried output you get, this does a fine job, and it makes beautifully tasty food. Is it healthy? Debatable. Most of what you cook in an air fryer tends to be beige, which is the national dish of England, but it's certainly healthier than deep fat frying though, no doubt about it. The app control aspect is a neat feature. The preset menus for cooking times and temperatures, the recipes are very cool, and being able to start either on schedule or remotely from your sofa could be useful. The only thing I think would be really good to add is notifications. Either that doesn't work universally with all of the modes for when it's finished cooking, or it just wasn't working for me for some reason. I didn't get any notifications when it was finished cooking, and I thought that would be pretty useful to add. Unfortunately, like all smart home products that aren't simple electrical switches or color bulbs, the smart voice assistant integration is a wasted opportunity, I'd say. It's an impressive feature when it works, but ultimately it's confusing, limited, and very often it just doesn't work. This is partly Proscenic's fault for not implementing a more elaborate voice instruction set, but it's also the fault of Google and Amazon for not implementing more generic device types that relate to cooking food. Overall though, an air fryer should be a part of every family's kitchen. They are great, and there's really no reason to ever use unhealthy and dangerous deep fat frying again. For those who need above average capacity or like the idea of remote controlling their air fryer over Wi-Fi, the Proscenic T21 is a great choice. Just don't buy it purely because you want voice control. Until next time, hit like if you found this review useful, or consider subscribing for more daily tech news, gadget reviews, and more from all of us over at MUO, makeuseof.com.